What's up, everybody? I am Salamancer, and you are watching Sal TV, bringing you game today between Dignitas and Epsilon. Now, Dignitas in this game, I do believe, is the new Dignitas, which is composed of SG1 players, a mainly Finnish team, and Epsilon, meanwhile, is the European All-Star team, or so I am told. So we're watching the game on Snakewater. The mid-fight is already happening, and we've got all kinds of damage going down. Wow, aggressive play by Dignitas, but it was punished there by the jumping soldier over here of Nox. And Nox, I think, relatively new to the Epsilon team, but has been doing a great job for them so far. So we've watched a very, very good mid-fight there for Epsilon so far here on Snakewater. These are played through 30 minutes. Wow, and Cookie there trying to go for the medic. Look at that. F2 only had about 20 health left there for taking all those shots, but Walters here, I'm going to assume his name is Walters anyway, ends up saving the medic there and continuing this push. So this actually could be a really quick first cap here for Epsilon. They have 100% Uber right now and should be able to push into last just fine. So let's just go take a look at that last point. As soon as Epsilon is ready to go, they will push in here. They're just waiting for their last soldier, I think, to get in position before they come out. And it looks like there is only one off class so far here. That's going to be Cookie on the heavy. Everybody else is playing their main classes. No snipers at the moment, although we do see sniping a lot on this map. And so here comes the Uber right now, not dealing a heck of a lot of damage so far. Finally, they look like they focused that heavy really well, though. And now they're after the soldiers, I think, just trying to get that point capped as quickly as possible. Looks like they're going to be able to do it. Yeah, medic for Dignitas there trying, the Jackal trying to stop that cap and just not quite able to do it. But you know what? It was a good try nonetheless. They were in an uber disadvantage situation, and at this high level, having that disadvantage pretty much means you've lost a round. So either if they're going to be aggressive at these mid fights, they really have to either get that medic pick or just win the mid fight. Because if they lose their medic and Epsilon keeps theirs, then that is no good. So it looks like both the medics here, unlike in the North American leagues, both of the soldiers, tend to rocket jump out to mid. There is no equalizer rollout for them. So it's an interesting thing to see. Now Dignitas has actually lost two. Once again, they've lost Punpu and Himsy very quickly. That's one scout, one soldier down for Dignitas. So they have had to fall back to second, but this time they weren't playing all that aggressively, and so they kept their medic alive. They are going to be able to hold on to second here for a while, and we're going to have to see how Epsilon chooses to push in here. Now, one thing that I loved about Epsilon's playstyle was they're very, very good at getting those surrounds on their enemy. Look at how they've pushed one of their scout and soldier, I believe, through this upper area. Now that scout died, but now they're Ubering over to here. Now that they've forced Dignitas back up to the high ground there. Uber came in. I don't think Epsilon liked their Uber positioning here, and they did not get any kills with it because the counter was popped for Dignitas, so they did fall back a little bit, but now they've got that high ground on top of the little shed over here, and taking a bit of damage from the medic-soldier combo of Dignitas, but, oh, they are so surrounded, and that's what happens when you let your medic get surrounded like that. They were just playing, I think, a little bit too far forward. Now, they did manage to take out Epsilon's medic, so F2 is down right now. Dignitas only has Himsy left up, though, and so now that we've just now had 3 players spawn for Dignitas, can they manage to stop this cap? Looks like they can. They actually killed the soldier who was standing, or the demo man, who was standing there on it. And wow, 2 more quick deaths for Epsilon. So if there was any time that Dignitas could push out and cap, it would be now. Mafu here trying to get a little bit far forward and set up those stickies. Yeah, it looks like they are pushing out to second point. Now they're going to be in danger of a bat cap here, but I have not seen a lot of bat capping really occur in these European leagues. So it looks like we do have a sniper right now. Walters is on sniper, but it sounds like... No, okay, so it's just the one sniper. Dignitas here getting a kill on Nox right away. Himsy goes down once again, but Dignitas looks like they should be able to cap here as long as they don't take too much damage from this jumping soldier. It took a lot of knockback at least, though. And so, yeah, Dignitas looking really hurt right now. And look over on the right-hand side here. You can just see their health diminishing and diminishing. The medic trying to keep them up as much as possible. They did manage to get a couple of kills on Epsilon once again. So Dignitas here really wants to push out, but the problem is pushing into a sniper can be very, very difficult. Oh no, his team walked in front of him though. Epsilon Walters here cannot be happy about that. Trying to get, did get a really good headshot there on the soldier, and now just trying to finish him off with a body shot. Punpu does go down, so well done to get that 150 initial damage on that. And here comes the Uber from Dignitas. It's kind of a desperation Uber here. They pretty much had to pop it to force Epsilon to pop, otherwise they were just going to get creamed over here on this second point. But that may happen anyway. They've got their demo man up here right now trying to deal as much damage as possible, but 2 jumping soldiers is really going to make that tough. And look at this, just surrounding that medic once again. The Jackal goes down to Epsilon, so well done to them. on Snakewater here. Looks like they're probably going to be able to push into last once again. Now, whether they're going to wait for the Uber or not is an interesting question, because Dignitas only has 2 up right now. They did just have 2 more spawn, but Epsilon, yeah, with their 4 up right now, and actually they did just kill Himsy, so there's only 3 left for the defenders. Yeah, they could have pushed in here, but I think they're just going to wait till they have that Uber up to full. They are going to have a huge 80% advantage right now, so that's pretty much just what they don't want to wait on. They want to say, yeah, we're going to wait until we've got the Uber ready to go, and then we'll push in and knock it out. They are checking this drop down here. This can be a very, very nasty flank spot, and you know, if they're not paying attention to it, they could get flanked by a scout or something like that. So did not want to do that, making sure to check constantly. Good job for them. Being paranoid is extremely important. And look what they did here with their Uber. Of course, it's a very common thing to do, to Uber your demo man, let him sticky jump out in and be really super aggressive like that. But look at this defense by Dignitas here. They're doing an excellent job so far of just dealing the damage. Even though that Uber went off, that Uber was popped really, really early for Epsilon, and so now Dignitas only has to deal with 1 soldier. The problem is, Gear going huge right now, dealing a lot of damage. He's got 14 health left, but Hawks only has 16. Oh, Hawks gets the kill! So Hawks has defended the point successfully there with his, like, 16 health left. That was down to the wire there, but once again, just defending the point is not enough. Dignitas is down 1-0 right now in this round, so they really do have to push all the way back to Epsilon. And so far, I don't even think Dignitas has held the middle point once. So it is going to be up to them to show that they can be aggressive against the Epsilon All-Star team. Now, you may be asking, what the heck, when did these guys play? What league was this? And I'm sure this has actually been casted several times before, but I'm doing it again because, heck, this is an awesome game, and in fact an awesome series. So this was, I think, a best of 3 series between Dignitas and Epsilon, or possibly best of 5, I'm not entirely sure. But nonetheless, this was for the Excello Bigfoot TF2 challenge, which happened roughly, I want to say, a month ago. And so what they were playing for is a grand prize here, and this is the grand final of the Excello Bigfoot TF2 challenge. They are playing for 6 Bigfoot network cards. They're called Killer Network cards, I think is the name of the product. And so yeah, that is what they're playing for. Should be pretty freaking sweet, in my opinion, just getting free hardware for this 6v6 challenge. You know, play some TF2, and if you play well enough, you get a prize. That is, I mean, my favorite thing to do, aside from casting, that is. And of course, I'm not good enough at TF2 to actually win those prizes, so hey, what can you do except cast, right? And I will cast nonstop. The Uber does come in for Epsilon, but it is forced out very quickly. Epsilon is really having to pop their Ubers very early here, and of course, the earlier they pop the Uber, the less likely they are to be able to take this point and deal a lot of damage. However, Dignitas only has 2 remaining right now on the point. Now it's just 1. It's Himsy. He goes down, so that's going to be the second cap there for Epsilon against Team Dignitas, denoted as Diggy over here in the left-hand side. So I like that the cuteness of that name there. It's really nice. Yeah, look at those soldiers. In the North American leagues, typically the soldiers will damage themselves, rocket jump out the doors, and just try to get there a little bit faster. But in these games, that is not what happens at all. They want that demo man to get there first and have as much of a buff as possible, and neither of them are going to do that equalizer rollout. So that's really why you don't see them rocket jumping at the start of the round. Lots and lots of damage coming down right now. Dignitas, once again, losing this mid-fight. They really just aren't being very aggressive here. They have not taken any sort of high ground. I like the scout play over here. Did not immediately go for the medic. Wanted to take out that demo man instead because the demo man was a huge threat. And look at that. There goes the Jackal. So Epsilon, once again, winning that mid-fight very decisively. I mean, they have practiced Snakewater down to a science here, and they've got that 100% Uber once again. They're going to have a 100% advantage, probably pushing on to last. Himsy here, we're going to have to see if he can do something really awesome and incredible, like getting a flank, but so far the answer is no. Oh, actually, I don't... Yeah, it sounds like there may be a scout following Himsy, but Himsy's chasing after the medic right now. Now he has decided to back off from that. But yeah, it looks like he wanted... Oh, he could still get this medic pick. No, forces the pop, though. That's, you know, if he can't get the kill, at least force him to pop. That's what we want to do. And look at that! Killed Extremer while that Uber was going off for F2. So that was just some amazing scout play there by Himsy. Really saved this last point here for Dignitas, because now Dignitas actually has a 30% Uber advantage. Nice to see that. Dignitas here is saying, we are not out yet. You know, we may be 2 down, but we can bring it back. So hoping to see them push out here. They are building this Uber very aggressively, trying to get it up as fast as possible. Of course, as you're healing a player, the lower health he is, the faster you heal him. So Looking like Epsilon here is going to have to play back just a little bit. They, in fact, are playing very far back right now. They're waiting for Dignitas to pretty much push into them. But the problem with Dignitas' push here is that, look at this, Epsilon is up to 90% Uber right now, and that means that even if Dignitas does try to push out here, it's going to be too late. Yeah, here we go. They have popped their Uber, but it looks like the Uber is counter-popped here by F2. So well done by F2 to keep his team alive. And now they've decided to go after the kills. Not only are they going after the kills, they're going after the back cap too. Scout and a soldier getting over there and capping right behind Dignitas. That's the problem, of course. Trying to push out from a last point on these 5CP maps, you can get back capped so easily if you're not careful. And Epsilon has just probably the greatest tactical sense of any TF2 team I have ever seen. They're like, okay, Dignitas has an Uber advantage. They're going to push into us, so let's just try and draw them away from the point and then send a scout and a soldier to cap. Excellently done by them. So far, Epsilon showing some very dominant play here on Snakewater, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. I hope you were loving it too. Epsilon, once again, looks like they're winning this mid-fight, but they have lost gear, actually. They've lost Extremer as well. And this time, Dignitas here is putting some cap time on that point, getting a lot of damage done for their team. Neither medic has gone down yet. F2 was at low health, but he has healed himself up, and he's got Nox acting as his protection right now. So they are falling back to their second point for Epsilon here, and anything can happen. Let's check how much time is left. There is still 20 minutes left here, so it's only been 10 minutes. Epsilon is capped 3 times. They play to either 30 minutes or a win difference of 5. So, waiting on Dignitas here to make a push, see what happens. Now Dignitas has the Uber advantage, but they're down by 3 points, so of course they're going to need to get in there and very quickly capture this second point, be aggressive, and knock out the enemy as fast as possible. What they really want is for Epsilon to pop their Uber first, and wow, look at that, kind of a missed pop there by F2. He meant to keep his soldier alive there, but the soldier went down right before he popped, so that Uber was just almost completely wasted for a while. And look at this, Dignitas being super aggressive here, just completely ignoring that demo man. Did end up killing F2, so Extremer ended up getting the kill on, I think, Cookie there, but yeah, Hawks is still over here pressuring him and looking around like, where do I go now? There's a demo man all over my stuff. No! So Gear ended up hitting him with a rocket there to take out Hawks. Still, it is 5-on-3 right now, and Dignitas has their medic up. Good attempt at a flank there by Gear, but he goes down. So I think that's going to be it. Dignitas should be able to capture this unless something crazy happens. Yeah, they've already got a scout sitting on the point, putting a lot of capture time on, and of course, one thing that does is it forces the enemy to get on the point, because these last points capture so quickly that if you let the enemy just stand there, then what's going to happen? They're going to capture it. So you have to go stand on it just to block it and to get the kill. But once you're standing on it, the enemy knows you're standing on it, and that is a very exposed place to be sitting. So the enemy, when they're attacking, can just run in there and shoot the crap out of you, and you are not going to be happy about it. So watching that roll out there on Snakewater all the way to the mid-fight, and checking out watch where the demo man sets his stickies right here. He's trying to create trying to stop anything from coming at him like straight across the ground on that path. Of course, Snakewater has all these high areas to play around with, so I mean, there's just a heck of a lot of different paths people can take, and wow, Dignitas almost gets a clean wipe there against Epsilon at that mid-fight. Not sure what was happening for Epsilon, whether they were late to the mid-fight or just a little bit caught off guard, but Dignitas not only taking that, but now we've got Mafu coming over in here, and he's going to start laying down some really far forward sticky traps just in case anybody from Epsilon tries to come out and contest second. Looks like they're not going to do that, though. Epsilon is setting up for a last point defense here. So Dignitas, with their 100% Uber advantage, could push out here and bring this up to a 2-3. Walters, though, he was looking for that kill. Problem was they Ubered right away. Did not want to take any damage there, coming out, expecting maybe like a heavy or a sniper, something like that. Now the medic on the heavy here is going to make that a very formidable wall of HP, and look at this, Nox on the heavy back up to his 450 almost health, and so wow, look at that, Dignitas having to fall back. Where is Dignitas right now? We were playing a game, it's called Where's Dignitas? It's kind of like Where's Waldo, except that we're looking for people in blue instead of red and white stripes. But yeah, Dignitas had to fall really far back there after that failed push. Now luckily for them, they've actually gotten their Uber charge percentages about even, so as soon as they have their Uber, I mean, Epsilon's going to have theirs too. Dignitas here still having to fall back. They are still a man down. Nox is actually still on the heavy, and he's normally playing soldier, so I'm interested to see. I mean, are they going to bring Nox out to mid? Looks like they're going to do that. They're just going to walk him out here. They've got the 100% advantage right now, and we're going to have to see just how well a heavy does pushing into the mid-fight. There we go. Actually, what they're going to do with this, they're sending all the mobile classes really far forward to force Dignitas to pop early. Then the heavy's going to get out here, try to gain some positioning and deal some damage, but wow, actually, he's going to get cut off by this Uber Demo Man, so going to take a lot of damage here. He actually, when I say he takes a lot of damage, I lied. It looked like he was, but no, he didn't take any there at all. Mafu took a lot of damage, though, from all the rockets coming in at him. So check out Nox right now, trying to deal as much as possible. Finally getting caught up into the air, though, and oh, wow, 1 health left. Just barely got out of that to grab the health kit, so he's going to be okay. Maintaining that heavy out here on this second point of Snakewater, that's not something you see every day, especially not at the world's highest level of TF2, which is basically this, Dignitas versus Epsilon. I'm loving this game so far. It has just been very clean by both teams for the most part. So yeah, we've got Epsilon sitting back on their second point once again, and Dignitas sitting at mid. Now, of course, Snakewater, a custom map made specifically for 6v6 that many people may not be familiar with, but it's once you cap the mid, you can either go to the left side here, or you can go to the right, and it looks like pretty much everybody for Dignitas is looking right. I don't even think they have anybody watching the left flank right now, but they've got their scouts kind of sitting up here, and yeah, okay, so this may be where they're actually watching. There they go, now watching the left flank as well, because that's kind of where Epsilon wanted to come in from. Now, Himsy ended up going down to a sticky from Epsilon. Didn't see whether that was a trap or Epsilon was just sniping, but it looks like it may have been a good sticky trap there from Epsilon. So, I'm sorry, not from Epsilon. I keep getting these mistaken, but it's from Extremer. I haven't even gone down the rosters yet, but I think I'm just going to stop doing that for my STV casts, because you guys can see all the names, you know who these people are, and if you don't, well, you are going to see a lot more from them in the future, because the European scene is just amazing. I want to get the North American scene looking like this. Anyway, we do have that heavy still up. We're going to watch the Nox cam for a little bit here. Taking a lot of damage, but I mean, just sitting there, the ability to spam those bullets out non-stop is a really, really cool thing to have if you can get him in position. The problem, of course, with the heavy is getting him into position to actually deal that damage is not very easy. Now, the heavy does a lot of damage at long range, but it is going to take him like 30 seconds to actually kill somebody, and if there's a medic on him at that long range, I mean, he's just not going to be able to out-damage the pace of the medic's heals. Now, we do have 100% Uber once again for both teams, so we have to see whether they can actually get in here and deal the damage this time. Dignitas wants to push it up and bring it to 2 to 3 right now, but it's only about 15 minutes left in the game, so they really need to start being more aggressive here, because if they don't, then they are probably going to lose this by default. They just don't have enough points right now. Epsilon knows this, and Epsilon, because they have this initial lead in points, they are taking a very, very conservative route. They're just kind of trying to wait Dignitas out here. Now, sometimes that can actually be pretty risky. Sometimes the better play is to be more aggressive and try to just get all of those 5 caps as quickly as possible. 5 win difference, of course, because if you do make a defensive play like this and it doesn't work for you, well, then the enemy is closing ground and points-wise very, very quickly here. Uber Demo Man pushing in, trying to assault this Ubered heavy here, and wow, yeah, Dignitas lost 2 again. Epsilon has kept everybody alive. Lots and lots of damage going down right now for Dignitas, and there goes Cookie as well. Extremer knocking him out once again. So, Dignitas falling back to mid, and this time they may end up losing mid. Epsilon here wanting to push really hard here, and they should be able to do it. Now, Extremer did go down, though. That's not going to be good. Epsilon is actually saying, oh crap, our Demo Man's down. And there's a back cap going on. Well done by Dignitas to just say, yeah, well, if they're going to push into us, let's just kind of try to force them back onto second. That's exactly what they did. So the Ubers are just about even right now, and that gave Dignitas all the time they needed to get all their players back up and to start defending their second point again. Well done by them. That is exactly what you would see out of those back caps. Even if you don't get the capture, you force the enemy team to turn around and kind of reset this situation here. So that gave Dignitas a second attempt to push in and capture once again. They do just now have that 100% Uber, so we should see them pushing in very shortly here. But Walter's trying to peek in there and see if he can't spot the medic to kill him. Of course, knocking out any one of the classes would kind of slow this push down, but knocking out that medic would basically just mean... oh crap, I hate when it does that. Would just mean that the Epsilon could immediately turn around and push back in. Now look at this, Dignitas trying to get a little bit of a surround here with their soldier. Punpoo pushing in here and roaming up to the left just a little bit. Walters is down right now, so is Cookie though, and so they're just kind of even on deaths at the moment, but there goes their other scout for Epsilon. Now that may not seem like such a huge deal because they still have all these big damage classes, but losing your scouts actually means that you can't watch your flanks as easily. I mean, look at this, they're all kind of bunched up on the second point right now, which means that Dignitas now would be the time for them to try and get in and surround, but it looks like it's just going to be a little bit too late. And look how long Nox has survived. Holy crud, guys. It is amazing seeing just how long that heavy can stay on the field when he is not accurately focused down. Or, I mean, when he's Ubered, because he's gotten that Uber quite a few times here. Good jump there by Gear, just to deal a little bit of damage. I don't think he ended up getting any sort of significant damage down, but anything they can do to slow down Dignitas at this point is exactly what they want to do. So we're just going to watch the Gear cam a little bit longer, because he may try another one of those jumps here in just a minute. I'll be interested to see if he does. But Dignitas is having some real trouble pushing in onto this second point here. Looks like they want to try it again, and they are... Here they go, trying to push in, but Cookie goes down very, very quickly there, so that's going to be some lost DPS for Dignitas. They are pushing in right now and dealing a lot of damage once again, but look at this, taking a lot more than they deal. There go both of their scouts, and wow, Epsilon is just saying, well, it's time to race out to the mid, because Dignitas fell back really far there, but look at how well Epsilon said, okay, we know they're going to be falling back, let's take the shortcut route to get both of our scouts straight to mid and try to pressure as fast as possible. But once again, with the back cap attempt, I think this time Punpoo is the one who was trying to back cap there, but yeah, we've got Dignitas once again just in a very favorable position here, able to push on to second. Even though the Ubers are just about even, Dignitas has kept themselves in this position. Their problem has been that they have not been able to successfully push and take it, but we'll have to see if they can do it this time around, or if Epsilon just kind of gets tired of this and says, okay, screw it, guys, we're pushing them instead of them pushing us. Now, of course, the issue with trying to do that is Epsilon here is in the riskier position. I mean, if they try to push out and their push fails, then Dignitas, not only can they capture second, but if it's a disastrous fail, then Dignitas could actually go in and capture last uncontested. So, I mean, Epsilon's playing this correctly. They are, in fact, playing this correctly. I would not want to say anything otherwise. Gear does go down, but 2 down once again for Dignitas. So, I mean, Dignitas, once again, they're just in this situation where they've tried to push in, they take too much damage, and so once they lose 2 players or so, I mean, that's it. They cannot deal enough damage to the enemy team before the enemy out-damages them. And so I think Epsilon's focus calls have just been extremely good here so far. Shocky here, getting up ahead of the rest of his team and doing some good damage. I think he ended up killing Himsy, if I'm not mistaken. And so finally Epsilon has said, yes, now is the time! We can push out and capture mid. That's exactly what they're doing, and Walter's just running around and trying to check these common hiding spots. Yeah, very well done for them to try and make sure they don't get flanked. A lot of hiding spots here on Snakewater to get flanked from. So it's good to watch these scouts here paying very careful attention to their surroundings, because if there's one thing that a lot of these really high-level teams just love to do, it's as they're retreating, they leave one person in a hiding spot to try and knock out the enemy medic or get a really, really high-value pick here. Epsilon, once again, has captured mid, but they're still pushing this heavy out there. He stayed alive this whole game, so props to Nox for just being a trooper and playing the world's slowest class ever. Wow, Himsy getting that kill on Epsilon though means that Dignitas has a player advantage, and they are pushing him with the Uber. Problem is, the Uber is actually retreated right now in the face of the later Uber from Epsilon, and Epsilon is getting some huge kills here. Looks like Hawk's trying to fall back and defend his medic, but wow, 3 up right now for Dignitas. They may end up losing the second point here. They just could not push on to Epsilon's second, and now they have had to fall back and defend their own second point. So, no good for Dignitas right now. Hopefully they can put something together here, because there's only about 7 minutes left, and it's 1-3, so it's getting down to that point where Dignitas just may not be able to pull back enough caps to win. I'm really hoping that they pull something back, though, because I love seeing these games go into overtime. But yeah, Dignitas Hawks trying to get up there and deal what damage he can, does not manage to do it. So Hawks is down, Punpoo is down, and Himsy's taking a lot of damage here. Oh, the Jackal getting in, trying to put up the Fierce Needles. Does he get the kill? No, he does not. He gets taken out by Walters. He was the only one there who could get to the point fast enough to do anything about it, and so that was... that's what happens when the medic goes against a scout. Typically, that scout is going to be the winner. So that was all Epsilon needed, and that's going to be 1-4. That'll probably be the game. I have been known to call games early, though, especially in Highlander. But yeah, I even called a different game earlier this week before it was over, and the enemy team came back to win. So yeah, you guys should definitely check out those videos too. Check out all my videos. Jeez, come on. Why haven't you watched all of them yet? Seriously. Oh man, and Dignitas just losing 3 players right off the bat. They were in an aggressive position, but just got out-DM'd here, I think, by Team Epsilon. So Gear, the only one down right now. Look at how damaged Team Epsilon is, though. I mean, it would not take a lot by Dignitas to get in there and get the kills, but whoa, Hawks actually was thinking about it. He was trying to get in, but it just was not meant to be. It was only 1 soldier against 5 people, and even when those 5 people are terribly hurt, that doesn't stop them from dealing a lot of damage. So Epsilon here with their score right now is, I believe, 4-1. Yes, it is. They are going to be able to push in here with 6 minutes left and probably capture. I don't want to call anything because it is 100% Uber. So if anything, it's going to be very easy for Dignitas to potentially hold on here. Actually, Epsilon's had some difficulty pushing into last when they have these even Uber positions. There they go. Yeah, look at how early they had to pop that Uber once again. But looks like it's going to be a very successful one. They already have a scout sitting on the intel, and that's going to force Dignitas to collapse onto that point. They do have the Uber, so I think Epsilon just kind of wants to back out here, and they have done that. F2 is down right now, so Dignitas should be able to push out just a little bit, dealing a lot of damage to the enemy team. But now Jackal's gone down as well, so both medics down. Let's just go see. Himsy is going to get out here and try to cap this second point. Good for him to go for that, because Himsy's been getting the back caps all along, but this isn't really even a back cap at this point. He's just trying to... oh, in fact, it is. Wow, kind of a race to cap there. Hawks goes down, but the Walters, who got the kill, has, I think, had to run back to second, run back to his team to try and stop the capture attempt and the hold attempt on second. Mafu here trying to stop, trying to delay Epsilon as much as possible. And looks like Walters has gone down, so only 3 left remaining for Epsilon right now. Dignitas has everybody alive, but they are all scattered to the winds, so they have to kind of regroup here on the second point, because pushing in one at a time, even when all 6 of your teammates are up, if they're not there to help you, of course, you're still basically playing 1-on-3 or 1-on-6. So yeah, look, Dignitas pushing in very, very aggressively here and kind of pushing in a little bit one at a time. Now their team has gotten here together. Good air shot there. Looks like Punpu got taken down. So did Nox, though. And wow, just kind of some brutal mid-fighting going on here. Epsilon has said, okay, screw it. We're going to fall back. We don't need to lose our medic quite yet. The Jackal taking a lot of damage, and a spy ends up poking him in the face. So well done by Walters to go on that off class and say, yeah, you guys just are going to have no idea I'm here until it is way too late. Oh, man. Hawks was not noticed, though, and probably going to get this medic kill, or at least get him to pop. So well done to Hawks there. Epsilon just not paying quite enough attention to what was happening around them, and let Hawks sneak up behind their medic just for that 1 second, force that pop. So the Ubers are even. That's going to mean Epsilon is going to have a tougher time pushing into last. Good back cap attempt once again by Dignitas, but this time it has not been successful. Only the Jackal is left alive. So Epsilon's going to push on here, and that's pretty much going to be the game. I don't think it's going to be possible for Dignitas to capture anymore at this point. Shocky here for Epsilon. Oh my gosh! Gets out of that hiding spot there. Immediately kills the Demo Man to stop Stickies from getting on the point. So yeah, Epsilon goes up 1-5. That's going to be this game. So guys, thank you for watching. This has been Salamancer. Check me out on Justin TV and of course here on YouTube.com/fatmop. And I am going to be signing out.